Love is the greatest commandment. Love somebody. Love somebody is the greatest commandment. God is alive.
Love is the greatest commandment.
As I come this moment to say thank you to all my supporters. Thank you to all peacemakers. Thank you to every Nigerian person that love peace. Thank you to all Africans that love peace. Thank you to all black people everywhere in the world that love peace. Anywhere you find yourself all over the world, maintain peace. Thank you, every human being that lives in this world. If you are a peacemaker, I come to you this morning with a story. A story of a king and a little girl. You know, love is the only instrument of humiliation that people keep inviting on daily basis. Love has humiliated many people, disgraced them before their enemies. Still, people want to be humiliated and disgraced by love. You know what I found out in love? When love disgraces you, you will wake up to love better. When love humiliates you, you'll be stronger to love them more. And therefore you cannot stop loving because you are hurt. And again, when somebody is drowned by the sea of love, so many people will jump into the same sea, begging love to drown them. And so this very king I'm talking about was a very wealthy king. And this king never liked his subjects. He never liked them. And there come a poor man in a particular village in the same town the king reigns. And this poor man had a very beautiful daughter, very pretty young girl. Then he fell on a day. The little girl came to the palace to look for one palace girl, and the king saw her. And the king inquired, "Whose daughter is this?" He was told, "It's the daughter of a certain poor man, even a wine tapper for that matter, that lives in the other village that king will never like." King said, "What a beautiful girl. Tell her to come into the palace and greet the king." And the little girl came into the palace, went on her knees. The king said, No, stand up, pretty girl. I was told that your father is that wine tapper. And the little girl said, "Yes." So tell your father to see me tomorrow morning. Let him bring 3 jars of palm wine for me. I want to buy. The little girl got him and told her father, His Royal Majesty said he should bring 3 jars of palm wine tomorrow. The father said, "Wonderful. His Royal Majesty want to drink my wine." He said, "Yes. He's looking for you. Say you should bring wine." Unknown to the girl, she is the main wine that His Royal Majesty is looking for. In the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, you know, when you receive invitation of a king, as a poor man, you will not sleep throughout night. The wine tapper went and tapped his wine and took 3 jars out of it and ran to the palace. When he got to the palace, the king said, "Are you the father of the pretty maiden that I saw yesterday?" He said, "Yes, your majesty." He said, "Come into the palace." The fine one went into the palace. The king said, "Sit down and let us drink." An invitation of a king to a poor man to have a dinner is like when somebody is alive and pay a visit to heaven. And the poor man sat down with the king and they ate dry meat, ate dry fish, and started drinking palm wine. And the king was so happy with the poor man. He said, "You'll be bringing palm wine for me every day. It's now your contract. But how much is your money?" He said, 3 pieces of cowries. The king said, "No, I'm going to pay you 10 pieces of cowries for each jar. That's to say your money is 30 pieces of cowries." The man was so surprised. He left. In the evening, the king traced his way to the house of the poor man because of the little maiden. Getting to the place, the little maiden saw the king and went on her knees again. He said, "Stand, pretty creature, stand. God finished his handwork on your body. Stand." The father of the maiden came out, went on his knees to greet the king. The king said, "Stand." When a poor man is given the gift that is not found in the palace of a king, he will no longer bow for the king. Then the poor man and the king wanted to discuss. The king said, "I did not come to see you. I am here to see the little girl." He said, "Have your way, my king." The king sat down with the little girl. And it happened to be that the little girl who knows how to sing. And the little girl started singing for the king. You know, love can make a gray-headed man to receive a slap from a maiden and say, "Thank you, my sister." And the little girl was singing. As he was singing, the king was behaving like a little child. Unknown to the people in the kingdom, the king has fallen in love, and he has 17 wives already. He has fallen in love. Every morning, the king will no longer want the poor man to bring palm wine. He will visit his house. The palm wine is now being sold in the house of the palm wine tapper. And both of them will drink all the palm wine and the king will still pay. A day came. People came for palace meeting. In the evening time, the king was nowhere to be found because he was in the house of a little girl. They waited for the king, King was nowhere to be found. And the traditional prime minister called upon the chief guard of the palace. "Where is His Royal Majesty?" The chief guard said, "I don't know." He said that no one should follow him. He said, "But why should you allow His Royal Majesty to walk out of the palace alone?" He wanted to react negatively. The other palace guard said to the traditional prime minister, "The king said he will be fine where he is going, that nobody should look for him. In fact, he goes out every evening and comes back whenever he wants, and nothing has happened to him." The traditional prime minister said, "Wow. Is it what is happening all these days? It therefore means that there's something that a king has discovered somewhere. You know, when a king discovers something that is interesting, he will no longer be stable on his throne. Then something happened. A meeting for the traditional rulers' council did not held again that day. They all left. People started, where is our king always going every evening? Every evening, nobody will see the king. Now, the people in the village, the people in the whole kingdom, all of them were wondering, because they've now seen the king, and every day the king visits the house of a wine tapper and will live in the night. This complaint came to the traditional chiefs. One day, they now lay ambushment against the king. The king left. They saw him. All of them followed the king. Got it to the house of the poor man. They dodged in the bush. And the king went. The little girl came out and hugged the king and gave the king a sweet kiss. It might be that a little girl was cooking in the kitchen. The king went to the kitchen and sat on a little chair in the kitchen, helping the little girl to heat the fire. And the palace chiefs then walked up to him and said, "Your Royal Majesty, what is going on here?" It's okay if you cannot see what is going on here. It therefore means that you are not seeing life. Because you should see that there is life going on here. And wherever life is going on, somebody who is wise should be there. Without minding what was going on, what the chiefs were saying, the king told the little girl, "Is the cassava done? Let me help you pound it." The little girl said, "I will pound it, Your Majesty." He said, No, don't worry. I don't want you to injure your hands." And the Majesty began to pound cassava for the little girl. A traditional prime minister said to him, "My king, this is an omen. It's okay. Are you ready to take your crown? Take the crown and I take love." He said, "What?" He said, "Take the crown. Give to someone else, and I take love." And all the palace chiefs went on their knees. "My king, you can't pound. Let us pound for her." He said, "No. If you pound it for her, she will not enjoy the food." You know, when a lover provides something for a lover, it's always very interesting. But when a strange hand is involved, that thing will be very bitter, even if you put saccharin. And they started begging the king. The little girl went to her knees, begging the Majesty, "Your Majesty, please listen to the chiefs. I will pound it." The father of the girl now came out from his house and bowed before the king, bowed before the chiefs. Say, "Your Majesty, since you love my daughter, I have given her to you. Take my daughter. She is now your wife. You can go with the chief and go the chiefs. Go with the chiefs and go with the girl." The girl jumped on the king, and the king laughed, and they walked back to the palace. When they walked back to the palace, the king then asked the little girl, "Make a request, and it shall be granted unto you." The little girl went on her knees and said, "Your Majesty, I have only one request to make." He said, "What is it?" He said, "Promise me that from today, that you will love all your subjects, both poor and the rich. Promise me to love them. Promise me to love them equally. Promise me that you are going to love them. And every member of this cabinet will also share the same love with everybody in this town. This is my request. The king said, is that all? He said, yes. He said, consider it done. From today, no more hatred in this kingdom. Everyone will be loved equally. I'm going to distribute the same type of love I have for my family to everyone in this town. Now make another request, my love, because I love you. And the little girl said, my request is this. Stop my father from tapping wine and make him a palace chief. Because I cannot be one of the queens and my father will be a wine tapper. The king says, is that all? He says, consider it done. He called his guards. He said, take 5 horses, 5 cows, 1,000 tubers of yam, and 100,000 pieces of curries to my in-law, my new in-law. Give him this and tell him that from today, he is now a palace chief, one of the kingmakers. Now you listen to my story, the king and the little girl. What do you think you can make out of this story? What do you think that motivated this story? Now bring the story into a system where people hate themselves. Bring the story to a system where people never like themselves. Bring the story to a system where people are always after each other. Bring the story to a system where everybody is pointing an accusing finger on each other. Then you ask yourself, where have we gotten it all wrong? From the beginning. That's my answer. Where have we gotten it all wrong? From the beginning. Now, the present generation that found themselves in the leadership inherited hatred from their predecessors. Now, the hatred started with the name Nigeria. We were colonized in hatred. We were not taught on how to love each other. Because they did not see anything in us that they can love. They see us as black people. They see us as people who never think well. They never see us as reasonable people. So they colonize us in hatred. That's what caused Aba Women Riot in 1920. Then the people of this country then keep hating themselves, hating themselves, hating themselves. And that is what caused civil war. And from civil war to what we are into at the present time, remember, civil war was a product of hatred, product of tribal sentiments, product of discrimination. Till this minute, people keep hating themselves because they have not seen a pretty maiden in the houses of each other. They have not seen a bridge builder in the houses of each other. And then I asked everyone in this country, both the rich and the poor, the educated and the illiterate, that they should open their eyes like the king, so that they can see the pretty maiden that is in the house of a poor man, so that they can go after the pretty maiden that is in the house of a poor man. Because when they do so, they will reconcile old issues. They will reconcile old matter. They will heal all wounds. You know why? The people of today never wanted the old wound to heal. Even some of them that are healed, they are still seeing scar. Even some of them that are healed, they are still feeling the pains inside. They have not decided to let go. But remember, the king and the little girl, the king was in love, and the love of a little girl was able to change the king. The love of a little girl was able to change the entire kingdom. The love of a little girl was able to make a formidable foundation that everybody started building upon, and they forgot about old foundation laid by their predecessors. I'm appealing to everyone in this country, from villages, from towns, to states, to Nigeria. Please, allow the old wound to heal. Allow the old wounds to heal. Allow the old wound to heal. Stop seeing the scar. Stop feeling the pains. The little maiden, heal the wound in the heart of the king. Let my words heal the wound in your hearts. As you are listening to this message, as you are listening to this story, let my story heal the wounds that is in your hearts. I am appealing to you. I am begging you. The king fell in love with a little maiden, and up to pounding cassava, up to leaving his throne to fellowship with a wine tapper in his house, up to leaving his throne to be with the maiden even in the kitchen, hitting the fire for the maiden, up to leaving his throne to come and fellowship with a common man. Oh, the love of a little maiden was able to change the entire kingdom. I beg you, let these stupid words that I'm speaking to you this morning heal the wounds in your hearts. Those from southeast, those from south-south, those from southwest, those from northeast, those from north central, those from northwest. Let my stupid words heal the wounds in your hearts. Let those injuries go. Allow them to get healed. Don't look at the sky anymore. When you look at the sky, you will remember the pains of the injury. And when you remember the pains of the injury, you will remember how you sustained the injury. Please, allow my words to heal your wounds. Allow my words to heal your wounds. Please, I beg you, allow my words to heal your wounds. Oh, where is the little maiden that healed the injury in the kingdom? Where is the little maiden that liberated the kingdom? Where is the little maiden that made a speech of love to the king and the king changed? I am speaking to every Nigerian person. I am speaking to every African person. I am speaking to those in Somalia. I am speaking to those in Congo DR. I am speaking to those in Angola. I am speaking to those in South Africa. I am speaking to those in Libya. I am speaking to those in Egypt. I am speaking to those even outside Nigeria, those in Syria. I am talking to you. I am also talking to North Koreans. I'm also talking to world powers. Please, let this my speech heal the injury in your hearts. so that we can fashion a new modalities on how to coexist. Remain blessed as a people. God bless you. Long live Nigeria. Long live Africa. And long live United Nations. Remember, one people with one God we are. God bless you.
Love is the greatest commandment. Love somebody. Love somebody is the greatest commandment. God is alive.
Love is the greatest commandment. Love is the greatest commandment. Love is the greatest commandment.